All acoustic pianos have pedals, at least a sustain pedal. And if your piano has 2 or 3 pedals, the sustain pedal will be the one to the right. And this is definitely the most useful of the pedals, at least in this context. The function of the sustain pedal is that whenever you're pressing down the pedal, the notes that you hit on the keyboard will all be sustained, just like if you were holding them down. And this function is very helpful for us because it makes it easier to play what's called legato with notes tied together rather than staccato. And in some cases, especially in classical pieces, you might want to play staccato, but in the context of piano accompaniment, we rarely play staccato, and I think in all of Taylor Swift's surprise songs, she plays with the sustain pedal. So, using the sustain pedal is a bit tricky, so it takes some practice. You could, of course, just press down the pedal and then play whatever you want to play. But as you hopefully can hear, the sound becomes quite muddy. So what we want to do is to release the pedal at clever points in time and then repress it to sort of reset the sustained effect. And we typically want to do this when we change the chord in the song, because if I play the same thing again, try to notice how whenever I change chord, the previous chord bleeds into the sound and makes it a bit muddy. Here, and again here. We want to create a cleaner sound. And again, this is quite tricky, but whenever I change the chord, when I press down the new chord, I will release the pedal, and then as quick as I can, I will press down the pedal again. So if I play slowly, we start on the C chord here, with the pedal pressed down. Now, as I move to the G major chord, when I press down this chord, I release the pedal, and then I press it down again. Again. Up, down. Up, down. So a common mistake here, and one that is very natural to do, is that you want to press down the pedal simultaneously as you press down the keys on the keyboard, because your brain wants to do the same motion with your hand and your foot. But if you do that, it means that you will have to release the pedal before you hit that chord, and that will sort of remove the legato effect. It will sound like this. So again, instead, release and press. Release and press. And this takes some practice, of course. And another common mistake is to release the pedal at the right time, but then wait too long with pressing it down again. So that sort of if you release the notes on the keyboard before you have pressed down the pedal, it will also create a staccato effect. Notice here how I lift my hand before I press down the pedal again. So what we want to do instead is to press down the pedal and then lift the hand. So I hope this makes sense to you, and once you learn to control the sustain pedal, you can make beautiful arpeggios on the keyboard as well, just like Taylor does when she ends her surprise songs.